Welcome to episode 23 of Military Veterans Podcast, where we talk to veterans to learn about their stories and experiences. And today we're joined by Lawrence Roke. Did I get that right?
You did get that right.
I did it again.
Yeah.
Yes, go me. Lawrence, thanks so much for coming on the show. How are you doing today?
I'm very good, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
No problem at all. Now, a lot of people may know you as a different name, right? Because you weren't always called Lawrence.
No, that's right. So throughout pretty much school and my military career, I was known as Larry, and later part into my military career I was known as Snowballs.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll touch on that a little later, I think. But yeah, really, really cool to have you on the show. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that. But let's start as we do on every episode. We have these 4 questions. For yourself, Larry, I will be giving you those one at a time. So let's start off with the first one. When did you join the military?
Okay, so for me it's slightly different. I first joined on my 18th birthday in May 2006. Come November 2006, I was unfortunately medically discharged and then rejoined on the 10th of February 2008.
Okay. Well, we'll see if we can get more detail about that in a little bit. The next one is, what service and branch did you join?
Okay, so both times was the Royal Navy, and to start off with, both times was the communications branch, but it changed names. So to start off with, in 2006, it was Operator Mechanic Communications. And then when I rejoined in 2008, it was Communications Information Systems Specialist.
Okay.
Bit of a mouthful, that one.
You're right. The next question is, how long did you serve for?
13 and a half years.
13.5 years. Nice. And what rank did you get to?
I got to the dizzy heights of Leading Hand Police.
Leading Hand Police. Okay. So it sounds like you changed roles or something?
Yeah, I changed branches, as we call it in the Navy.
Okay. Well, this will be exciting.
Yeah.
So let's rewind. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Where was you born and where did you grow up?
Okay, so I was born in Norfolk, Kings Lynn, and at the age of 3, my family moved down to Cornwall, where my mum was born and raised in Helston, because my dad was in the Royal Navy as well, as the aircraft engineer.
Oh, right. So you were brought up in around that kind of like environment?
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
Which was, it was cool.
So what was like schooling like for you? Was it an easy thing?
To a degree, it was easy. I was more of a hands-on person, as I am and as a child. So some of the academics was a bit challenging at times. Being dyslexic as well was made it a challenge through school. But
okay.
Here I am, and I've pretty proud of what I've accomplished so far.
Yeah. And so, was it normal school you went to, or was it military school?
No, it's a normal community school.
That's the word. I couldn't think of community. And what was the kind of bringing up or being brought up in the Navy environment? Did you get to go on ships and Navy camps and stuff like that? What was that like?
Not really, because by the time I was going to school and stuff, my dad had already left.
Right, okay.
But we were still around by the air station, Naval Air Station, so constantly in contact with other matloads and stuff. My dad had still friends in the Navy and stuff, and all my friends' dads were in the Navy, so air shows and stuff, we would always get there every year and things. And yeah, it was a massive part of my life as a kid, even though I wasn't completely part of it, if it makes sense.
Yeah. And so what was kind of the inkling to join the military? Was it because of what your dad did? Is that what made you want to join yourself?
Partly.
Okay.
Left school, went to become an apprentice carpenter. After a year, I said, I can't do this all my life. It's fucking horrendous. Getting up at 5 a.m. to start work at 7 for the commute work I had to do at the time. And finish at 7 o'clock in the evening, and cold and wet and absolutely aching to the bone every day doing this carpentry apprenticeship. I don't think this is for me. I'm not going to be able to progress any further. I'm going to be a chippy all my life. Talked to my dad about his time in the Navy and a few places he's been, all the good things he's done, not so nice things of when he was in the Falklands. Sounds pretty good to me. Going around, getting paid to travel. I think I'll give it a go. And started the process to sign up. Next minute, I got a phone call through the door. A phone call. I got a phone call saying, we've managed to get you through earlier than expected. It's on the 28th of May. Yeah, I'll go. Realising it was my 18th birthday at the time.
Right.
Heck, I won't have my legal drink then.
So before that, I've not really spoken to many Navy people. Does the Navy have like a career office like the Army do to sign up?
Yeah, so when I joined up, it was a like combined careers office in Redroof.
Oh, right,
So
okay.
All three services there. You walk in, it's Army straight away. It's just Army posted everywhere. And then there's a slightly smaller section, the Navy, and then in the corner, gathering dust is the RAF.
And did they try and like say, oh, you're here for the Army? They try and coax you in
No,
to join?
the RAF did.
Oh, the RAF
Yeah.
did? But you said, no, I'm here for the Navy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second time round is slightly different.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about your first time then. Let's put a pin in that one.
Yeah.
So you sign up earlier than expected. They give you a call through the door apparently. See what I did there? And say, yeah, we want you to come to training or
start basic training.
Start basic training. So
Yeah.
it is called basic training as well.
It is, yeah.
That's good. And so where was that? Where was training?
It's in Tor Point called HMS Raleigh, which is the phase 1 training establishment for all ratings and ranks. Officers go to Dartmouth. I think that might be changing soon. I don't know.
Okay. So whereabouts is that place?
Tor Point is in Cornwall. It's
Cornwall.
Yeah,
Okay.
right next to across the river is Plymouth.
Right. And so you get down there and what does that look like? Because basic training for the military is pretty much shouting straight away. Sorry, for the military, I say for the Army. But what's it like for the Navy?
Not quite shouting straight away. So you have to get the train to Plymouth, where you are then met by a senior 8. They would then take you onto a bus, go over the ferry into Cornwall. It's all quite relaxed but stern, if that makes sense. There's
Okay.
a lot of can't think of the word now. Anticipation.
Okay. Yeah.
Not sure what to expect and what's going on. Next minute, the senior 8 will walk in, give you a little brief of what's going to be expected of you in the first 24 hours, get shown around, and it's rabbit in the headlights as it is for any new recruit. And 6 o'clock next morning, you're woken up to get dressed into your suit again, because you have to turn up in suits. Go for breakfast, come back, and then it's haircuts and...
Oh, right. They do
into
the
it.
same.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then how long is basic training for the Navy?
So when I first went through, it was 8 weeks. Second time through, it's 10 weeks. But
Okay.
I think it might be longer again now.
Right. And so you complete your training, and so you mentioned in the intro that you were medically discharged. So had you gone to your first base or wherever it is after basic training?
Unfortunately, no. I was in basic training when I first got medically discharged.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I hurt my knee during basic training, and they said I couldn't ever get it fixed.
Right.
So they discharged me and said on the documents, if you do manage to get someone to help repair your knee, then you can rejoin at a later date.
Okay. So it wasn't the end of the road.
No.
They just said you need to get it sorted and then rejoin.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned 2008 was when you rejoined.
It was, yeah.
So you used 2007 to get a stronger knee.
Pretty much, yeah. So I had a whole year of physio. I had to have a course of injections in my knee. I'm just really training hard to build my legs back up to strength, which I did and did really well, to the point where I started to get spotted for cycling national standard before rejoining the Navy, which was fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
So you used that as a way of getting stronger. It was cycling.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Can't probably tell it now, but yeah.
And did you always have that mindset of I do want to join back up?
Yeah.
So this was your like motivation to keep getting stronger as you could.
Definitely, yeah.
Interesting. And so how does that look in regards to rejoining? Did you have to go back to the same career office and go, hey, remember me?
Pretty much, yeah.
Did the RAF come out again and go,
Actually, I went to the RAF this time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, explain that.
So me and my best mate was thinking about joining the forces. He always wanted to be a firefighter. I said, well, the Navy kind of have him as an aircraft handler. So he came with me to have a look at it and stuff, and he then went to the RAF and had a look at the firefighters then, because that's what they solely do. Both had a chat with it, I think it's 2 days after. I went, actually, that sounds pretty cool. I'll come with you. So we booked an appointment to go in together. And the very last signature we had to do before going off to basic training, I turned around to him and I think it was a sergeant at the time. So I can't do it. Said, I have got unfinished business with the Navy, and literally just walked out, went back into the Navy office and went, I need to rejoin. I said, I've almost joined the RAF, but I can't. I need to come back into the Navy.
That's cool.
6 months later, I was back in.
Okay. So there was a bit of a wait before you could do basic training?
Yeah.
Again? Yeah. Okay.
It wasn't a huge wait, which was quite nice.
Yeah. And so you then go back to basic, I'm guessing started the same way, and you're like, this is familiar.
Yeah, it started completely the same way on. I was a lot more relaxed because I knew exactly what to expect, and I was helped guiding all the other people who were rabbits in headlights, going, actually, don't worry about that. Concentrate more on this and that, and I'll help you through the other parts.
That's nice. So it gave you a bit of confidence as well, and maybe helping the others.
Yeah, massively.
That's cool. Do you do drill in the Navy?
We do, yeah.
So do you had to? Is it the drill square as well? Is it the same?
Parade square.
Parade square.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't do any stomping of our feet.
Do you not?
No, we don't.
I suppose ship-wise or something, you don't want to be rocking it or something.
Fair on.
So yeah, you get through, and I'm guessing you're feeling more confident because you've got a stronger knee now, and you know that you're going to get through it. And you mentioned it will increase to 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Was there anything in particular you really enjoyed in that second phase of training to get you into the Navy?
I enjoyed the fitness a lot more.
Okay.
They had ramped that up massively. That's why it was 10 weeks. And because I was so much stronger and fitter and had that drive building up to it, I was absolutely destroying Fizz, which was amazing. And I'd never been as fit as I was at that point.
That's cool.
It was really good.
Good. And then you moved, is it called your first base? Where'd you go after basic training?
We then go to our phase 2 training establishment.
Phase 2. Okay.
Yeah.
What's that?
So that was at HMS Collingwood in Fareham, near Portsmouth. And that was the communications training for me there, which was 6 months, I believe.
Okay. So learning radio communication, that kind of stuff?
Exactly the same as what you do in the signals. But also we do Morse code and flashing lights for Morse code, and also the old school way as well.
Yeah.
And flags as well, communicating by flags, which was interesting.
Did it all come quite natural to you, or is it difficult?
It's really difficult.
Yeah.
It's like learning another language.
I bet.
I could never do that at school. Tried learning French or German. No, can't do this.
Yeah. I have no idea how you listen or even do Morse code. So let alone doing it with lights or flags.
Yeah, well, I can't remember any of it now.
No.
It's completely brain dumped that out, going, oh, it's useless.
That's cool. That's cool. It's good, I suppose, they've got a backup when needed.
Yeah.
In that area. And then, so you finish that, and then you go to your first...
Normally you go to your first ship after that.
Oh, it's ship. Okay.
Usually, yeah. Unless you're in the Fleet Air Arm, and then you go to another base.
Okay.
Yeah, so my very first ship was HMS Sutherland, which is a Type 23 frigate. Excuse me. And I joined that in Scotland.
Right. So just to clarify, again, I'm really sorry for my ignorance. But getting into the detail and nitty-gritty with the Navy is not something I always do. So when you say you go to your ship, is it actually a camp and there's like a ship that docks, or there's no camp, but you just go straight onto a boat ship? What does it look like?
It completely depends.
Oh, okay.
The ship could be in Newcastle or Liverpool, which is just going to be in a civilian dock.
Right.
So then you just go to the ship and go up the gangway and join it from there. For me, it was in Rosyth. So there's a small naval base there called Caledonia. We go through the base and then go onto the ship through there.
Okay.
And it had just come out of refit at the time, so it was all freshly painted. Everything was all new and sparkling. Very daunting to join it first time.
And so how long is that thing called? We call it posting in the army, but
Okay, yeah, so we call it a draft in the Navy.
a draft.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long is that draft for on that boat? And I call it a boat. I'm sorry.
No, it's a ship.
And it's did you say Sutherland?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long is that draft for?
Usually it's for 3 years, but it can be extended up to 4 or 5 years.
On one boat? Oh,
Yeah.
Geez, one ship.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Do you get your own like room or
No rooms.
no?
No, so you get a mess square, which is our living room where you can make tea and have a drink and chill out. And then there'll be a separate door which goes through to the mess sleeping area, where it's bunk beds stacked 3 high, a locker no bigger than from the side of me to the end of the sofa.
So for people that are listening, that's what a meter.
Metre and a half, probably.
Metre and a half,
At,
yeah.
at best, yeah, probably metre and a half tall as well.
Okay.
I'd say just slightly bigger than half a metre deep.
Right. So quite a small area.
Yeah, and that is your world and life, that little locker.
For 3 years.
You do get to go home between it, but when you're away deployed, that's your home. That
Right.
little locker, that little bunk with a little curtain. That's the only privacy you get on board, is that little curtain in your bed.
So what about like ablutions? Is there a room that has?
Yeah, there's the full shower and toilet facilities
Okay.
with doors, so you're not pissing and pooing in public,
Right.
which is nice. And same with showers. It's not what everyone thinks in the movies and stuff, where it's don't drop the soap. You do have shower cubicles with a curtain too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like what everyone thinks.
And how big are these rooms? Like, have you got like 4 showers to this shower area, or?
Yeah, so on Sutherland, I think we had 6 showers with 6 basins to have a shave and that as well. Toilets were about the same, so they're not massive rooms, but there's enough for people to go do what they need to do.
Yeah. And I'm guessing it's a small area. Do you have to get on with everybody, or?
You try to.
You try to.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And so, yeah, you drafted there for 3 years.
Yeah.
And then what happens? Do you go on exercise or deploy or?
So yeah, depending on what the ship's doing. So for us, because it just came out of refit, we had to do a workup. So that was testing all the ship systems, all the weapon systems, etc., making sure everything worked before we actually deploy on an operation or go for a jolly.
Okay.
So we did that for just over 2 months, passed everything, and our first run ashore was Dublin, which was absolutely phenomenal.
Really? So when you say run ashore, what does that mean? You dock up?
Yeah, so you dock up in a commercial port or a port somewhere, and the captain of the ship said, we're going to go to Dublin for our first foreign run ashore, and you're given 2 or 3 days off, or you'll have 1.5 days off and work the other, to go explore Dublin and pretty much do what you want within reason.
Okay. And does this help restock the ship and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we'll get supplies in for food and top up the fresh water if needed, if the filtration system is down. Any repairs, we'll get the stores on board for that as well. And it's just a good time for everyone to get to know each other and have a bit of downtime. Because when you're on ship, it's operating 24/7. There's no proper rest period. There's always someone doing something at any time.
Right.
So we do a nice watch system. I think you call it Stag.
We do.
Yeah. So for me, we did 1 in 3 rotations. So that would be long morning, long first, which you'll get up, go to work 8 o'clock in the morning, and finish at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. you'd then have the afternoon to do other duties on board, because every sailor has more than one job whilst on ship. So in the afternoon, you might be doing cleaning or repairs or working on your part of ship. So if there's a part of the ship which is a bit rusty or needs repairing, you'll go and fix that. Then you'd have your dinner, and then 8 o'clock in the evening, you go back to work into your office and then work until 1 in the morning. So that's your first shift done for 24 hours. The next day, you then do the afternoon long morning. So you relieve the people at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, work till 4 in the afternoon, have the evening off until 1 the following morning, and then you're up through until 4 till 8 o'clock. Go to bed for 3 hours, get back up at 12. Then you work 4 to 8 in the evening, and then you're off all night. And it's just that constantly.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how long is that before you actually get days off and go on shore?
Depends.
That does depend.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you're on operation or deployed properly, might not happen for 4 weeks. Maybe longer, depending on the situation. Yeah, it all completely varies, and also manpower. So if the ship's lean on manpower, you're going to be stuck in that. Or if you've got more people, thankfully, then you can relax it a little bit more.
So you mentioned the sailor has more than one role on ship.
Yeah.
But with your trade, what was your main job on board it?
So my main job as communications was constant supply of radio communications from ship to ship, ship to shore, to submarines and to aircraft. Also the upkeep and running of all the computer systems on board, because without that, life would stop.
Yeah.
And also delivering any signals to irrelevant parts of ships. If it's stores or something to do with weapons, etc., would go and distribute. Like a glorified postman, really.
Okay, fair enough.
To put it in an easy way.
And then, so after Dublin, do you go away anywhere, or is it a case of, I don't know, what does it look like?
So we went to Dublin. We then came back. I think we had Christmas then, so we had 2 weeks off for Christmas. Again, there's always someone on ship. So there was a duty watch for the Christmas period who had their leave either before or afterwards. And then we deployed for 6 months to America.
Really?
Yeah. It was called Operiga, where we combined with the US Navy and US Coast Guard and Canadian Navy and Coast Guard, and do massive exercises so we are efficient at working together and how all our tactics are going to work, etc.
Okay.
Which is absolutely phenomenal. And there's opportunities there. You can cross-pole, where you go onto another nation's ship and learn how they work and operate, and vice versa. We can have them on board. Absolutely phenomenal. So we do that for, normally it's about 2 week periods, and then we'll go alongside somewhere. So like for us, our first port of call was Florida. We had a 6-day stand down where, again, still people duty, keeping stag, or keeping on watch as we call it. And the rest of you are going off enjoying the sights, enjoying the sun, or going to NASA or Disney World or whatever you want.
Difficult life.
Yeah. And getting paid to do it.
Getting paid to do it. But you mentioned that was a bigger period of time over there, not just the 2 weeks. So what did you call it, going on board? When you go to Florida?
A deployment.
No, sorry, when you went so you docked up and then you
going ashore.
Go to shore.
Going ashore.
Going ashore.
Yeah.
Okay, going ashore. And then what, you would do another little exercise, essentially.
Yeah. We'll go back out to sea for a few weeks, do some different exercises and internal exercises as well. So we'll simulate and practice the ship getting hit by a rocket or something, and practice how to stop the ship from sinking, practice how to save it from fires, because when you're out in the sea, you can't call a firefighter or police or anything. You are everything. So it is pretty much save the ship or unlucky.
Yeah. Was there one incident that you actually experienced when you were like working alongside the Americans, for example, that you're like, this is awesome, or holy shit, this is crap?
I think the best experience was doing a RAS, so it's called a replenishment at sea,
Okay.
where you've got 2 or 3 ships abreast. We're refueling, we're sending stores across like food or supplies, etc. And also there's helicopters doing supply drops as well at the same time. There's one particular time we had ourselves on HMS Sutherland, we had HMS Ark Royal on the other side of the tanker, helicopters doing drops as well, and then the Harriers flying past and doing some exercises as well.
Oh, that's cool.
You then look to the other side of Sutherland where it was just ocean, and you could see an American aircraft carrier doing exactly the same thing. And you're just stuck in the middle going, wow, this is phenomenal. Dolphins going across in the water and absolutely surreal.
Yeah, I bet. And so what happens after that? So you finish that big exercise, you head back to the UK? Is that what happens every time you finish something?
Pretty much, yeah. So once we've done our 6 to 9 months away, we will head back to the UK and then have 2 or 3 months stand down. Again, ship's not empty. There's still people keeping duties and keeping watches. But we will rotate it through. And when we're alongside, we will do any maintenance and repairs and continue training. It never stops of training, as you could probably appreciate in the army. There's always stuff to improve on and to work at, because when we're at the middle of the sea, we need to protect ourselves and also look after ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And so during this period, what's the rank that you're holding?
At the moment, it was able rating or able seaman.
Able rating, able seaman. Okay.
Which is, and within that, there's another category. So you have AB1 and AB2. So able rating 1 and 2, or in the old school money, it used to be first class and second class. So second class, you are the baby of the lot. And then when you come to first class, you have a little star on your badge, or branch badge as we call it, which signifies that you've done all your professional training and you're looking potentially at the next rank up.
Very interesting. It is interesting.
Yeah,
I'm really
like,
so
the
different.
small little star, which everyone sees, never knows what that actually means, and it means that you've done the training and ready to start looking at progressing.
Well, because I know, like the American Army, like basic training, they've got private, and then they come out in their first class private. But we don't have anything like that in the British Army.
No,
it's like you finish basic, you're the same rank that you were when you're in there until you get to Lance Corporal. So, it's just really interesting to see the Navy's got something a little bit different. And so to finish off your, was it a 3-year posting? I keep calling it posting.
Yeah.
A 3-year draft. Look at me learning. A 3-year draft to HMS Sutherland. Do you go away anywhere else other than the fancy Florida trip?
Yeah, we had some time in the Mediterranean, where we were part of the Libya conflict. I think that's the right word. Yeah, conflict. And also in between that, I was also drafted off HMS Sutherland for a few months to become part of the strategic roll-on, roll-off ferry group.
Okay.
Where we was force protection for the ferries, which are contracted out by the MOD, protecting them from pirates.
Ferries where?
They travel all over the world. I think they came out of Southampton, but they could be anywhere in the UK, and they will supply all 3 services with helicopters, tanks, ammunition, you name it. It's on there, and we'll ship it down to wherever it's needed.
Okay.
And for my particular time, we were heading down to Mombasa.
All right. Where's that?
West coast of Africa, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you go past Somalia and that, and then it's down there.
So that was a bit of an insight into what happens, because I'd never really heard of that myself. So
yeah, it's a completely different experience. So my role on there was predominantly force protection. So you've got the GPMG rifle, and sidearm if needed. But also, because I've got the comms background, Len, I was in charge of giving daily intelligence briefs and briefing the civilian crew and also the military people on there of what threats are about, etc., and what we need to look out for. And then I was being trained on force protection on top of that, as everyone else was on there. So it's a pretty interesting time.
I bet. And then you mentioned the Mediterranean. So you were down there, giving protection to certain areas, or what was you doing down there?
It was predominantly exercises to start off with. We had the task group called Cougar, and it was, again, NATO navies coming together, practicing our drills and exercises and how to work together and practice boardings on vessels and helping our Marines to get ashore and do what they need to do and then pick them back up again like a good old taxi service.
Right.
And then I'll have some downtime like in Gibraltar or Italy, somewhere nice and warm, and again have a few days stand down. It was really cool.
So during all that time, did you actually come into contact with pirates then? And
on the ferry, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was it was interesting.
What? How did you know they were pirates? Because did they just try and take something, or I don't know?
No, so you get taught of what to look out for and their characteristics. So normally there's a dhow or mothership, and behind it is trailing two little, I call them rafts, but two little speedboats. And all of a sudden, on the radar, it would turn from one blob and two little blobs. And then you'd just see those two little blobs coming towards you at a good rate of knots. 9 times out of 10, that's when you know you've got pirates inbound. Try and use the binoculars for a little bit, but you can't really tell until they're a bit closer, unless you've got some really good binos. The ship would do some manoeuvres to try and deter them, like to create a wave at the back of the ship.
Okay.
Makes it a bit choppy for them and a bit harder. Again, on civilian ships, they use like their firefighting hoses and stuff to try and deter them. Some of them chuck things at them as well. Some civilians did that. You also create spider webs through the passageways and stuff to try and deter them away. But for us, we had us lot on there and go with the rules of engagement, and if they attack, etc., then go from there.
Did you like what do they call them? Warning shots or anything like that, where you shoot into the water to let them know that you're there?
We were told we can do that.
Yeah.
So all of us agreed it'd be best to just show that there is a presence here instead of nothing and then everything.
Yeah. Did you do that yourself?
I did a few bits.
Did a few,
yeah.
We won't go into too much detail, but no, really, really interesting because you see it on TV, and I suppose like maybe a lot of civilians as well, they'll see what the army does, right? But until you're physically there, like I've never been there like you have, in regards to pirates or protecting a civil, a civil fleet or anything like that. So really good to hear that. So thanks. And then, so do you get drafted away then from HMS Sutherland?
I did, yeah. What did I have then? I was posted onto a recruiting team for 12 months.
Okay.
Which was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, so what year is this then? So we're
2011 to 2012.
Okay. A recruiting team to try and get more people into the Navy?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
So we'd go around colleges, universities, a few schools, not so many, and then any public events like air shows and Army Day or Navy Days, etc. And predominantly it was promoting healthy eating and healthy living. So we'd have a cookery stand one side, cooking a curry of all things. Okay, that's healthy eating, all right. Which they included a bounty bar, so it's really healthy. And on the other side, we'd have the PTIs, physical training instructors, giving like a mini circuit out and stuff. And me being me back then, loved my fitness and stuff, so I'll help with the PTIs. So we'd create a little circuit, I'd demonstrate it and try and get everyone together and do a few team building exercises and get them interested. And then they would want to know what I've been and what I've done. I told them about learning how to fast rope onto suspect vessels, etc.
Oh, you did that during your time on that.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Is that scary? Pausing on the recruiting part, but going back to the fast roping, is that scary when you first do it?
Yeah, so you start off
Yeah.
on like a metal rig on dry land and practice going down on that. And then you go and do it on a real thing. Onto land still, so it's
Right.
a bit better. But it is fucking scary when you're doing it at sea.
And how would you describe it to somebody that doesn't know what fast roping is?
I always use the film Black Hawk Down.
Okay.
See the soldiers grabbing hold of the rope and sliding down the rope
From a helicopter.
from a helicopter, yeah. At whatever height the pilot decides. And yeah, you literally slide down like you do on a fireman's pole and try not to land too heavy because it does hurt a lot.
Do you have to have it through your feet so you can control the speed, or
So yeah, predominantly you control the speed with your hands.
you have gloves on, I hope?
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice leather gloves. And then yeah, you have your feet either side of you. So like you're in a squatted position, ready to for when you land, you're ready to take the impact. But also you need to learn how to lock off. So you then put the feet between your feet, so you can lock it out, and then you don't have to use your hands as much. So you can hold on to the rope pretty much.
Yeah. And then, as you say, it's even more scary when you do it on a ship.
Yeah, because you look down and you just see ocean. Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess because you're quite high up and
Yeah.
the ship's small until you get near it, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
You do have your life jacket on and stuff, but you're going, with all this body armor and stuff, is this really going to keep me afloat?
So what is it? So it's body armor and then a life jacket over that.
Yeah, so full kit and then, life jacket over that.
Weapon as well?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, rifle one as well.
Webbing or equivalent?
Equivalent to it is...
It's like a chest rig or something? Or...
Yeah, something like that. It's all like built into one, and
Oh, okay.
so it's a bit more comfortable.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you're doing the recruiting and you enjoyed that whole year?
Yeah,
Did you? Yeah.
absolutely phenomenal year. Being appreciated for your service and stuff is quite bizarre, but really nice. And it was nice to be able to share my insight into the Navy. There's lots of people up like in Newcastle or Midlands have no idea about the Navy and what we do and where we go. And you get so many random questions like, what's the difference between a boat and a ship? And other random things, and explain it to them as best as you can. Oh, that's pretty cool. And then they'll come back to you later and go, where do I sign up?
Really?
It's quite rewarding to hear that someone wants to actually try what you're doing.
So can you help me? Because I've been calling them boats, haven't I? And so in simple terms, what's the main difference?
A boat goes underwater and a ship is on top.
Huh? What do you mean the boat goes underwater?
So we call boats are submarines in the Navy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
you've got different types. You've got A boats and T boats. So A is the Astute class submarines, and T boats is the Trafalgar class submarines.
And then the ship is what we all see on top of the water?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There are some other terminologies for it as well. The other one that sticks out for me is a ship will list outwards as you go around a corner.
Okay.
So that the top of the mast will lean over to the opposite side
Yeah.
of what we turn in, and a boat will lean into the corner.
Ah, okay.
Someone will probably say, no, that's completely wrong, but that's what I've been told, and
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah, interesting.
Obviously, weight and tonnage will have something
Come
to
into
play
it
in
as
as
well,
well.
yeah. That's all interesting, isn't it, when you sit down and work it out. And so your 1 year comes up, and then where do you go next?
To the Falklands
Oh, right.
for 6 months.
So what ship are you with for that?
Not on the ship at all. And I was stationed down there
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So you were sent down there
on dry land for 6
dry
months.
land.
Yeah.
And what was that part of?
Part of the communications team. I was in the JOC down there, so it's a Joint Operations Centre, I think it's called down there.
Okay.
And my job down there was the IT service help desk, making sure the computers and stuff are running, and if there's any problems, I'm their single point of contact, which was
Okay.
pretty cool. Really nice to see. I say it was really nice. It was humbling to see where my dad was down there in 82. So I got to pay my respects and bits like that down there. Such a strange place. Beautiful place, but really, really strange.
Yeah.
I can't quite describe it. The people who've been down there.
Yeah, I was down there in '05.
Yeah.
So
Appreciate what I'm trying to say is...
Yeah, I didn't like it.
No, lots of people don't.
Mainly for the weather.
Yeah.
Like 4 seasons in one day.
Yeah.
What's that about?
I had that on Christmas Day down there. Literally woke up. It was glorious sunshine, like summer weather. Lunchtime it was snowing, thick snow. And by 4 o'clock in the evening, we had torrential rain, torrential wind. And by 6 o'clock, it was sunny again.
Yeah.
Couldn't get over that.
And it's the wind, because I think of its location, so close to, is it Antarctica at the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just constantly windy, right?
Yeah.
It's just like you try and get into a truck and the door slams shut on your leg because there's a gust of wind. It's like, oh. But I think wildlife-wise, it's really nice.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
But also crazy how many minefields are still down there.
Yeah. I think the last one's nearly cleared now.
Is it?
I believe. Yeah. I might have read that wrong, but I know it's...
Okay. Because I went in '05, so you would have gone in... Was that 2012?
Yeah, end of 2012 going...
So there's quite a few years between that. But I have no doubt that even if they did clear them all, there'd be more coming up because it's just a continuously moving... I know it's not physically moving, but the land is just very soft, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
really?
all peat and marsh everywhere.
Yeah.
It was really strange. The day I got there, put my bags down into my room. So you got to muster in one of the gyms. Oh, okay, what's all this about? There's all new joiners and stuff. Next minute, oh, you're in the Navy. Yeah. So we've got a massive fire going on. You know how to fight fires. Come with me. Next minute, dragged into the back of a troop carrier. Is that the right word? Back of a lorry, loads of other soldiers in there and stuff going, I have no idea what the fuck's going on right now. Next minute, I was given a wooden handle with a rubber mat on the end. So there's fires over there. You know how to fight them. You're now in charge of this lot. Crack on. Great, okay. Fighting fires on the ship and on land is completely different.
And what rank were you when you were down there?
Still an AB at the time.
Still an AB, and that's a... it's an able serviceman? No. Able rate? No?
Yeah. Able rate or able seaman?
Able seaman, able rate. Okay. So so they were making you in charge of people at that 1 star. I call it 1 star because you got 1 star.
Yeah. Sounds like an officer.
And so you said you were down there for 6 months.
Yeah.
Did you get to go and chill out in Stanley, capital?
Yeah.
Which is on a slant, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Constantly.
No roundabouts either, if I remember.
No.
Well, there might have been one.
I can't remember now. That's a good question. Might have been one.
But it was all mostly T-junctions, wasn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, did you get to enjoy the Falklands away from...
Yeah,
camp?
I managed to venture down there to Stanley. Tried to do my bike license whilst I was down there. Managed to do my theory, but couldn't get a bike in time to actually take my test and go for that.
Okay.
Which is a bit of a shame, but got to see lots of wildlife and sit in the back of a Hercules and take photographs whilst going over. What's the other little island down there?
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember the name of the different islands.
No, I can't. There's South Georgia?
Could be.
It might have been that we flew over and could take some photographs out the back of a Herc, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
See baby penguins and all the other wildlife. It was. I enjoyed it down there. The army didn't like the Navy down there very much, or the RAF, but I made sure that they didn't like them even more. So I don't know if you know this, in the Navy we can have sideburns down to the bottom of our earlobes.
I didn't know that.
No. So me being me, I've always had them down to that length because that's what we're allowed in the Navy, or the beard. Every single day I was getting told off by someone in the army or RAF about that. As one particular day I had completely enough of it. I went, fuck this, I'm not going to do it, I'm going to grow a beard.
You're allowed a beard in the Navy?
Yeah. Wow. So I found the only commander down at the time. I went up to him and said, so I'd like to grow a beard. Said my line manager doesn't really know the ins and outs of it. I've tried explaining it to him. However, he would like authority from the Navy about it. I said, not a problem. Here you go, grow it. And yeah, obviously it starts off with a bit of stubble and gets worse and worse. Oh my God. No one liked it in the Army and RAF and kept collaring me up saying, can't touch me.
Why you were carrying around something to?
Yeah, I had to carry around a non-shaven chit.
Right.
To say I was growing a beard, and after 3 weeks, it gets reviewed, and if the officer thinks it's suitable or police thinks it's suitable, then you can keep it. If not, you have to shave it back off there and then.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So you are allowed it, but you've got to prove that you can look after it, essentially.
Yeah, you have to prove that you can grow a full set of before.
Oh, right.
So if it's patchy or quite flaky, then yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
There are some standards to having one.
Okay. That's fair.